Well, we're just minutes away from Donald Trump's second stop on his post-election thank you tour. This time in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which borders Fort Bragg. That's the largest Army base in the country. Remember last week when he electrified the crowd at a Cincinnati rally, when he announced that he was nominating retired Marine Corps General James Mad Dog Mattis to be a Secretary of Defense? Well, Mattis is going to join him today. That's right. Him and the president-elect. It's expected to be a formal announcement as Mr. Trump picks his Secretary of Defense in front of the world. Joining me now to discuss, Jessie Jane Duff. You know, Jessie, I got to tell you that when he announced Mad Dog Mattis last week, the crowd went crazy. I could just imagine, particularly with the proximity to Fort Bragg, it's just going to be amazing.
Well, Jessie Jane Duff went crazy, too. I think he heard me. You know, the fact that they're going to be down in North Carolina, I just think is awesome for the crowd. It's going to be awesome for the troops. The bulk of our military are enlisted men and women, enlisted. And the fact that he has so much respect among the enlisted speaks volumes to what type of leader this is. I don't think that the Marines down in Camp Lejeune will be held back. I have a feeling they're in their cars right now, pedaling on over there, because the fact is this man is revered among Marines as one of the greatest leaders ever. He knows how to get people motivated and inspired to do things they would not normally do. That's what makes a great leader.
You know, Jessie, what do you make of the idea that there's still some more key spots to be filled, but some are questioning whether Mattis and Flynn could actually work together? I don't see any friction there, but you would know better than I would.
There isn't any friction. Actually, both of them happen to be senior fellows at the London Center where I am at. So there's obviously a great respect for both of them. They both are in different avenues, too. General Flynn is an intel officer. He is specifically designed to go in there and make sure that the White House has all the proper national security information that it's going to need. Mattis, on the other hand, is a great general who understands what the military needs are to survive and sustain itself in war. And that's what we need in the Pentagon. He can relate to what is needed to make the most efficient decisions and also ensure that those troops are never taken advantage of again and dragged out into a 15-year war again.
Well, here's the thing. We talked last night about the soldier, the vet who died in a VA hospital, and his family had complained about his bandages not being changed. There were maggots. It's just a complete outrage. And, you know, the American public is ashamed of what's happened, and a lot of people are saying it can't be fixed. We put a businessman in there already to run the VA, and it hasn't worked. I mean, will it take these sort of very powerful generals at higher levels of government to get the job done once and for all?
It takes very powerful men and women, and what it boils down to is you will tell me what you can do, not what you cannot do, because that is what a good leader does. I don't want to hear all of the problems. I want to hear the solutions. We can sit here and throw stones all day at the Veterans Administration. I've actually done it myself, but we're now at a point of, so what are we going to do to fix it? What are the solutions? We don't have to outsource everything that the Veterans Administration does. I disagree with that. We have some very good VA facilities out there, but the ones that have allowed maggots to go into wounds and doctors to not give veterans appointments. We had one commit suicide just 2 weeks ago because he couldn't get seen for over 5 or 6 weeks for the headaches he had after he'd had a brain tumor removed. These are serious allegations of a lack of compassion and care, and they care more about the VA employee than they do the veteran. It's a mindset. We have to change the cultural mindset of settling for little from this government that takes so many of our tax dollars and exploits them in the wrong way.
So, Gunny, I want to stay on the idea of mindset and shift it just a little bit to esprit de corps. We know that the men and women in the military, that they've really just felt that this administration, the current administration, has turned its back on them. And how much work is it going to take to get them back to feeling that the White House has their back 100%?
I think right now we're on the path for that. First of all, Donald Trump is going to say what he means and means what he says. We're putting in the right leadership that says what it means and means what it says. Now, of course, in a year, if we don't see change, we're going to be right back to having people with pitchforks and torches demanding change. The fact is that the troops who suffered through all of these years and lost Iraq know that General Mattis isn't going to lose any war. He'll finish one.
All right. Gunny, it's always great having you on the show, and the audience loves you. And, of course, we love the audience, guys. Thank you very much for watching every night, 6 p.m. Eastern, Semper Fi.